Hello, and welcome to Fresh Face One Shots. My name is Joey Morgan,
And I'm Jacob Licklider.
and I forgot how we open these videos, so this is this is how we're going with it now. But today we're talking about Superman number 4, 2023, continuing from last time. I'm very excited to talk about this one because honestly, I think this might have been my favorite issue so far.
You know, I think you're right. I have thoughts and opinions and ideas on where this might go. Because there's some interesting stuff. So this is starting I guess the next arc of
I guess, but also the title page says chapter 4. So
yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm wondering if Williamson is just going to there's going to be arcs. There might just be ongoing threads that they wrap up when they wrap up, so it's not going to be as cohesive as this is one big arc of 6 issues.
Mm-hmm. But we get right into this. We see Silver Banshee in her civilian wear, hanging out in Metropolis.
Who's a character I am not familiar with.
You're not familiar at all with Silver Banshee?
No. And we should probably say spoilers for Superman number 4 if you haven't read it.
These are little quick reviews, of course, spoilers. But be sure to read it because this series has been fantastic. And check out our last 3 videos if you haven't already. So yeah, it's great. And also, I think this will come out after the Brave and the Bold one, so check out our Brave and the Bold one. So yeah. Yeah, that's great. So you don't know Silver Banshee at all?
No, I don't.
Cool. Because apparently now she's dating Jimmy Olsen, and that's pretty awesome.
She's dating Jimmy Olsen, and it took you way too long to realize she's dating Jimmy Olsen.
I read this thing pretty early in the morning. I think by the time we got to the cliffhanger at the end of the issue, I had forgotten this first scene.
Okay, so she's a reformed villain,
and
this is the first time we see our Dr. Farm, who is one of this council of villains that Williamson's been setting up, and definitely the creepiest.
Oh, definitely, yeah. He meets with Silver Banshee here. He has this thing on his hand that supposedly has different types of kryptonite on it.
You see the green, yellow, red,
blue and purple.
Yeah, which I'll do things, cool. And that forces her to become Silver Banshee again.
Mm-hmm. And then he turns her back and he captures her. I kind of like the look of Farm's different henchmen characters here.
His farm heads, as they are called.
Yeah,
they are called farm.
They have giant pills for heads. I love that. Pretty awesome.
Yes.
We then go over to Stryker's Island Penitentiary, where we catch up with Lex, where he's been at.
Lex tries to kill a prisoner who's bad-mouthing Superman. We have three prisoners having the eternal Batman-Superman debate.
And I love this main guy here that's having this conversation with them, the blonde one. I imagine him with the most Arkham video game ass thug voice in my head. Especially when he gets towards the end of it and he's like, and I got 2 words for you. Get woman. And then Lex flicks and what is it, an acorn?
It's
something?
An almond.
Almond. Look, fucking I don't know anything. He flicks that into the guy's mouth. And it's great. Also,
giving him an allergic reaction.
It's implied that Lex knows that he has a nut allergy. And it's pretty great. Superman goes to see him then, more like a disappointing father, and it's a really, really funny scene between the two of them. We then sort of we imply that there's been a bit of a time jump here in between the last issue and this one, and that Lex and Superman have sort of been actively working together
on threads. Yeah, we have this 1-page montage, and they're all very Superman-y plots that could get their own issue.
I would read any one of these.
And of course, really... I think oddly enough, the montage page for this issue, at least in terms of Campbell's art, of Jamal Campbell's art, is my favorite just page of art. I don't know. There's something about each panel being so distinct and having such a different vibe that it works so well.
But we also learned that Lex has told Superman about a little bit, at least about Farm and Graft, and or just at the very least, like their names. And Superman it still has his doubts. Like he doesn't fully believe that like Lex is like trying to help him. He doesn't believe that Lex has a history with these guys. And then we get this great little flashback sequence where Lex talks about his past, about when he first got to Metropolis. Now, first off, this flashback sequence is drawn by one Nick Dragata. So we have a bit of a break from Jamal Campbell for this issue.
Like, and it really works.
Yeah, I especially love this first page. Like, I love the way that Lex is drawn here. It's really,
also,
really
Lex
great.
Luthor with hair.
Lex Luthor with hair. It exists. It's always been a thing.
This almost sense of idealism, like there's some sort of a missing persons case. Lex wants to use science to help Metropolis.
So he becomes sort of Metropolis's first superhero in a way.
Yeah, but like obviously like a street level hero with obviously an homage to the classic Golden and Silver Age. Purple and green.
Yeah, I always loved that though. It looks great. He's got these like goggles on. He develops like these like ball things to like fight them off with. I don't know, it's just a really great sequence. I really love this. Lex begins like fighting off. He only meets Farm in these flashbacks at first, right? Hasn't meet Graft yet? Yeah.
And we. Clark doesn't get the whole story, and it's heavily implied that Lex as a hero is also being a hero for just purely selfish reasons. Like
it's implied, but also like Lex tells the story in a way that makes him sound more altruistic.
Yeah, which I think is fascinating. Partially because I think Lex Luthor, as a character, thinks he's doing something for the greater good. Like,
yeah.
His hatred of Superman is just all out of jealousy that, oh my god, how can this person be so genuinely altruistic and making such an impact where I couldn't?
And on that, Williamson, I think, has found a really interesting way to sort of psychoanalyze Lex Luthor as a character. And so I'm loving this little look inside his mind that we just don't get to see often when Lex is portrayed in comics a lot. He then tells Superman of a potential hiding place where Farm and Graft may be. We quickly find out that it was a trap. That Farm and Graft must have figured out that after the attack from the parasites and everything, that Lex would have told Superman about all this, and that Silver Banshee is there waiting for Superman. Super-powered Silver Banshee, it looks. Her powers are amplified, much in the way that parasites were. And then we go over to Jimmy and Lois, and I really love this little scene with the two of them just in Metropolis together. Lois is getting like her morning coffee, and
I love that Jimmy is just such a dork.
He is. It's
like
wonderful.
He's so lovable. Like
yeah. And there's a bit where he's about to start telling us about the legend of Marilyn Moonlight. We're going to find out more about her until the fight between Superman and Silver Banshee takes them to where Lois and Jimmy are. The fight continues for a while until Jimmy runs out, steps in front of Silver Banshee, and says like, "No, you can't hurt her. You know, I love her." And it's this wonderful, hilarious cliffhanger that I cannot wait to see resolved next time.
With shocked Clark and Lois in heart.
Yeah, it's
oddly enough, there's a heart mode. Like the entire, it's a one-page spread. It's a single page, but it's all like Campbell. The way Campbell lays it out is it's all subtly hearts, like hearts within hearts within hearts.
Yeah.
If you pay really close attention.
Yeah, even like the smoke around them is making a heart. Like it's really awesome.
Well, they are making a heart. Jimmy's like camera and figures, like it's just I could take a pencil and just start drawing all of where the hearts are in this verse. Because there are so many.
It's awesome. I really love it. And that, I guess, is Superman number 4. God, I've loved this series. It's been so awesome. I
love that we're twisting ex-villains, bringing them back in different ways. Because Silver Banshee is a character who I don't know, obviously.
I forget, did you ever watch Supergirl? I know you watched some of the CW shows.
I have not. I did not get around to Supergirl.
Okay, because she's in that for a while.
I had jumped off, I think, before Supergirl was airing.
Wow, that's pretty early, even by CW standards.
Look, when they started getting like 3 or 4 shows airing at the same time,
I think Supergirl was the third one. I think it started right around the same time as Legends of Tomorrow. But yeah, so I remember she was in that in the early seasons before I dropped off. But yeah, I guess So I'm excited to see what you think of her, having her in this story now. So yeah, I guess that about does it.
One thing I really, really hope going forward is that we get more focus on her, just a little bit, like going forward. Like,
I imagine she'll get about the same amount of time as Parasite, maybe a little more, because maybe after all this is done, we'll focus on her with Jimmy a bit more.
Yeah, and I mean, she can be a recurring character. I hope we get, like, the one thing that I think was missing from this issue is a couple of scenes with, like, the Superman supporting cast, but this is also setting up a new arc, so
yeah,
we're gonna hopefully get that next time.
Yeah,
because that is, like, I don't know, Williamson just, like, I think Williamson gets it and is, like, fully embracing a lot of different aspects of Superman. His 4 issues, which I think is a great mission statement. Also, I saw, like, some of the variant covers for this issue, and there was one.
There were some pretty great ones.
Like, it was done in, like, a golden age art style that just looked great.
I think I know which one you mean.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Ramona Fradon was the artist, who was a Silver Age artist, still working.
So good.
Like, if you're not reading Superman, and if you like the character, or if you maybe, like, don't have an appreciation of the character, honestly, this run might be a good entry point.
Yeah, like, absolutely. I think so, at least. It's very new reader accessible. It has been. It still is. Go pick it up. So, I guess that about does it. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan.
And Jacob McLeiter.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.